Good morning, learners, and welcome to today's live Ielts class. My name is Adrian, and I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here on the west coast of Canada, where we're having a kind of extended summer, nice sunny weather. Welcome, Fuang. Hi, Patek. Welcome, Maria. Hi, Sarah. Welcome to our members. And Najmul, Chayani, Rumi, Subrato, nice to see many of our students in the class as well. Students, in this class, we are looking at Ielts Speaking Part 1 of the speaking section. So as many of you know, Ielts tests the 4 domains of communication: listening, reading, writing, and speaking. Speaking is unique in that it's done separately. You get an interview with a professional English speaker, usually a native speaker, for about 12 to 15 minutes, either face-to-face in an interview room privately or through the computer at an exam center. And nowadays, you might do the speaking from home as well through the computer. Speaking Part 1 will always be an introduction of you and some general topics that are related to you. So your hobbies, your sports that you like. Today we're going to talk about your walking habits. So Ielts kind of jumps around with all kinds of topics. Sometimes they're a little bit surprising for students. Like when I did my Ielts exam, they asked me about math and why I like math, or if I like math. And so they could easily have a discussion with you about your walking habits. Alam, I see that you're having a speaking exam today, so good luck on your speaking exam. Make sure to volunteer in a little bit when students have a chance to practice their speaking with me. So a little bit later in the class, I will call students using our websites, and I will give you band score estimates and give you some tips on how to maximize your scores. Our websites are aehelp.com, that's Academic Ielts Help, and we use our website for these live lessons. They're the textbooks. So to get our textbooks, visit us there. For general Ielts, it's gieltshelp.com. On both of our websites, we've got tons of materials to help you improve for all parts of the Ielts, including practice exams, computer-based exams, interactive course lesson videos, app for your phone. All you have to do is just click this big red button that's right above my head there to use our premium Ielts package. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access, and I'll even give you a discount code if you're in this class. The code is FULL9, F-U-L-L 9, because we want people to get full band 9s. And FULL9 will get you a 10% discount from the cost of the premium package. The price is different depending on what country you're in. We try to make it easier to purchase depending on your local economy, so check it out. And for general Ielts, same idea, green background, click that big red button. We're going to use our websites today for speaking, as I mentioned, so that's it, one-time payment. Oh yeah, and of course, we are an IDP affiliate. We're a British Council partner. I'm a British Council agent, and we're an Ielts test registration center. All right, Shrey says, I got 6.5 under your guidance. Shrey, that's great. So that will satisfy most of your entry requirements for bachelor's or for immigration. So that's fantastic. Keep up the good studies and you'll get even higher. Students, you can, of course, follow us on Instagram, IELTS_AEHelp, and for academic Ielts, and GIelts Help. On Instagram, we post vocabulary videos. It's all free, of course, and our schedule. And to get our apps, you can do that by going to your app store, searching for Academic IELTS Help, General IELTS Help. Get the app, link it to the website. If you have questions, you can contact me at adrian@aehelp.com, or you can contact us at admin@aehelp.com. This week, we've got lots of classes coming for you. We've got task 2 writing tomorrow. We've got reading. And then we'll have speaking on Saturday. 2 classes there, speaking part 2 and speaking part 3. And then we'll have a special class on Sunday and on Lighthall. Many of you know Lighthall. Lighthall's a new platform for live teaching. It's really cool. So check that out. I'll copy that link in the chat. That Lighthall class will be earlier than usual. I've got a running race coming up on Sunday, so I'm going to be running an 8-kilometer race, which starts really early. So I have to make the class an earlier class than usual. It will be like our early classes on Friday, tomorrow, and Saturday. So talking about walking in today's speaking class, but I certainly will be doing a bit more than walking on Sunday. All right. Okay. LOL, if you don't get an email, try to send it again. It could get lost in spam, or send it from a different address. That's why I put 2 emails up for everybody. So a couple people said, hey, you guys aren't replying to emails. So try to, if you don't get an email reply there, send one there, or use both emails, okay? So that we see it for sure. Thanks, Masala. Hi, June from Philippines. It's great. Nice to have a new member in the class. Okay. We're always releasing videos for you to improve and learn, and we just released a new video. We're always adding new vocabulary tips in our latest video releases, so check that out. This is one of our newest videos here. All right. Okay. Erkin, I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. Students, let's get into speaking. So one of the, common questions that I get is, how can I be confident for my IELTS speaking? And although it might seem cliche, the best answer for that is practice. Okay, so it really is practice. Aside from that, go to your IELTS speaking early. Find some other people at your test center to talk to. Take some speaking questions with you. And practice for 15-20 minutes for the speaking section before it starts. So that's the way to get confidence. And confidence is super important for high band scores, okay? All right. And of course, you should remember that you deserve to be there. Visualize also. Kind of picture your examiner as your grandmother or grandfather. That'll help you to be confident. Because why? They love you no matter what. But there's another reason that you should see the examiner, you should think about the examiner as your grandmother or your grandfather. Why is that? So why is it a good idea? And can anybody tell me in the chat, why is it a good idea to think about the examiner as your grandparent? There's a very good answer to that. By the way, the screen's a bit out of sight. Nobody said anything, or maybe some. Oh yeah, Mohammed said, "Could you please adjust the screen?" Yes, absolutely, Mohammed. I'm on it. Okay, so why is it? Erkin says because we're not afraid of them. Yeah, so that's the confidence part. Sunny says because they always try to motivate us. That's a good answer. Yep. Okay, you should see my screen a bit better now. I'm adjusting it. So we're all good. I made it even smaller. I'm trying to maximize the screen. Patek says to make us feel better. Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, Akira, very good. So Akira says because people will explain ideas clearly. Exactly. You need to speak loud and clear to your grandparent and with respect. Yeah, so the type of language that you use with your grandparents when you communicate with them is the kind of language you want to use with the examiner. So with your grandparents, you don't just say something like, oh, I watched a cool reel on IG yesterday and it was a blast. Your what? What, Sonny? What did you say? What's this IG now that you're talking about? Right? So, to your friend, you might say something like, I posted a selfie on IG and it got a lot of hits. Okay, or likes, right? So you might say something like that to your friend, and your friend will, they'll understand you. They'll be like, oh yeah, okay, that's great, awesome, good for you. But grandpa will be like, what? Okay, they'll be surprised. Whoa. Like that. They'll be surprised like that. They'll be like, what? Akira says, my grandpa will be like that, right? So to your grandpa, you'd want to say something different, like this. I took a picture of myself and shared it with the world through software, Instagram, and a lot of people responded by liking this picture. Okay, so your grandpa would be like, oh, okay, I kind of get what you're saying, right? Okay, so that's the way that you want to communicate with the examiner. So it's concise language, Masala, but clear language as well, right? So clear professional language, detailed language without over speaking. Okay. Yeah, Bilology rocks or biology rocks. I think you got a couple extra letters there. Says, yeah, you use formal language with your grandparents. You try to be loud and clear and use simple words along with some idioms. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so let's just practice a little bit of this clear, complete speaking. So you go to your IELTS speaking section interview early. About 1 hour before, you practice with some people who are there. You ask them, you build your confidence. You're like, hey, are you here for your IELTS speaking? And they'll be like, yeah, I am. Would you like to practice some speaking? Sure. Yeah, okay, let's do that. Let's find a nice quiet place and let's practice some questions. Okay, let's just start with the easy ones. May I see your identification? So give me a nice full sentence for this one, students. May I see your identification? Masala says, yes, gladly. Here's my passport that I've used for registration a couple of weeks ago, and here are my credentials. Please have a look. Very nice, Masala. That's a good answer. This is from our member, Masala. It's a solid answer. Fluent language from the beginning. Don't just say yes, sure, okay? That's not natural either. So if you just say yes, sure, it's not natural language. So when I go to the airport and I'm at customs and the customs officer says to me, can I see your passport? I will say, yes, of course, just a minute, let me get it out of my luggage, or let me get it out of my carry-on, okay? So I won't just say, yeah, sure. So last time when I flew back from Europe to Vancouver, and I remember, actually I flew to Calgary, and I remember being at customs, and I remember the customs officer saying, can I see your passport? And I said, yes, of course, here's my passport. There's my credentials. So we naturally say more than just, yeah, sure, okay? So you should be fluent here, all right? So this is speaking, everybody. So make sure to speak and repeat and be fluent, okay? So copy what I say, copy how I say it, be fluent. Godwin says this, and this is a good one. There's a million ways to answer this nice and fluently. Godwin says, yes, here's my passport that I used for registration. Kindly have a look, sir. Sure. Godwin, that works. Okay. A lot of different ways to answer this. And then the next question that the examiner will ask you. So again, let's just practice this. So let's do a little bit of repetition. Yes, gladly. Here's my passport that I have used for registration a couple of weeks ago. And here are my credentials. Please have a look. Credentials here means details, the details of your passport, like your birthday, your passport number, date of issue, date of expiry. Those are your credentials, okay? Try this one. Again, just repeat. So yes, here's my passport that I used for registration. Kindly have a look, sir. There'd be a comma here if you're putting sir at the end, Godwin. Okay. Rumi says this. I'm going to take one more here. You do have to be natural, okay? So Rumi says, I'm happy to present you with my passport, which I used to register for the Ielts exam a couple of weeks ago. Rumi, there's a problem with this. It's good English, but unnatural. Okay, so you want to sound natural, students. It's very important. Okay, so good English, but not natural. You wouldn't really hear a native speaker saying this. In the Ielts speaking, the examiner is marking you on. So Ielts speaking marks come from 1. Fluency and coherence. 2. Grammatical range. Means do you use present perfect, continuous, and accuracy. It comes from lexical resource. Okay, that means vocabulary. So they're marking you on all of this, and also pronunciation. Okay, so this is where your marks come from, but what you don't know, you can find this information online. So if you Google IELTS speaking section marking criteria, you will find this. PDF, look for that. Google that and you'll find all of this information. Okay. So they're marking you on fluency and coherence. So can you speak continuously? Is it clear? The most important is this one. Coherence. Are you clear? Do I understand what you're saying? Okay. So that's the most important one. Then they check your grammatical range and accuracy, your vocabulary, your pronunciation. Okay. Now, what a lot of people don't know is they're also looking at your speaking in this way. they've basically got three circles of thought. Let me show you what I mean here. Okay. So what they're looking at is you're speaking in this sense. So you've got one circle, you've got another circle, and you've got another circle. Let's put it here. Okay. So they're looking at your language like coherent, okay, complex, and natural. Okay, and your mark is this here in the middle. Okay, band 9, 8, 7, 6, right? So it's a combination of these three. It means the examiner is thinking, are you coherent? So can I clearly understand you? Are you accurately answering each question, and are your answers original? Did everybody catch that? So the examiner is thinking, is your answer clear, easy to understand? Is it original? Okay. Then they're thinking, is it complex? So are you using good details? Are you giving explanations? Are you giving examples? And then they're thinking, does it sound natural? So is this English a kind of English that we could hear in the UK, in Australia, in Canada? Are you using some idioms? Are you using some expressions? Does your voice go up and down? Do you have good intonation, or is it super duper flat like this and you're speaking like this, right? So does it sound like kind of like a native speaker, somewhat similar to a native speaker? Now, of course, your mark, that's why it's these circles, comes from these three, because when you're natural, you're coherent, okay? When you're complex, you're more coherent, okay? In good natural communication, you will use some complex language, all right? So does everybody understand what I mean by this Venn diagram? This is called a Venn diagram, by the way, when you have these circles. So interlinking circles, they're connected. So coherent, complex, and natural. Okay. Does everybody understand what this means? What I'm showing you by this? All right, I'm getting some thumbs up. So that means that a lot of you are clear on this. Okay. Sarah says it's complicated. Little bit, but it should make sense. Okay. So coherent, complex, and natural language. All right, students. Let's keep going. So let's be coherent, complex, and natural. What is your full name? So let me give you a complex, coherent, and natural response. My first name is Jennifer, and my family name is Aniston. Please just call me Jen for short. Okay, so this would be a natural, complex, coherent response to this question. Repeat after me. What is your full name? My first name is Jennifer. My family name is Aniston. Please just call me Jen for short. Okay, Jen, the speaking has 3 parts. I will give you instructions for each. Okay? So then they get into it a little bit, and they'll ask you a question like this. How did you come to this exam? Okay, so they will just ask you a couple of simple questions that pretty much any person sitting the Ielts exam should be able to answer. I'm kind of, it's interesting for me that there are some YouTube videos with band 2 and band 3 candidates. Usually that doesn't happen in the real exam. I've never had a band 3 or I've never seen a band 2, band 3 person in a real IELTS exam. It's very rare. It's rarer than a band 9. Most people who sit the IELTS exam will score at least 4. If you don't show up, that's when you get a band 0. Okay. All right. So these questions, the first few, they're for low intermediate, and I think any of you can answer these. Okay. So how did you come to this exam? Okay, Jasur, very nice answer. Jasur says this. Jasur says, I came here from Karshi by train, which is 4 hours away. Perfect. I can give you a great score for that, Jasur. It's specific, it's complex, it's got good vocabulary. I really like how you use the specific number, so I know exactly how far you traveled. Great, good job. I know the mode that you came. Very nice. Doesn't have to be super long, it just has to be clear, right? I came here from Karshi by train, which is 4 hours away. Okay, good. That's nice. Let's see. Okay. So this one here is by Prakash Puni. Prakash Puni says, I came to this exam by public transport. It is beneficial for both the environment and it's pocket friendly. This part here, Prakash, is no good. Why? So I came to this exam by public transport. That's okay, but telling me that it's beneficial for both the environment and it saves you money, the examiner might interrupt you. Why is that? So why is it not good to mention that kind of English for this question? What do you think, students? The examiner will likely interrupt you if you say that kind of information, and that's not good. You don't want the examiner to be interrupting you, especially not at the beginning of the exam. So why is it a bad idea to put this kind of information in here? Masala says because it's off topic. Yeah, so do not give information or do not give answers that the examiner is not asking you. Okay, at the least you would want to say because I want to save the environment and save money. Okay, but nobody's asking you why you came that way, right? That would be a follow-up question. So you could say the reason that you took that. So something like this, you could say, I came to this exam by public transport because it's convenient. It only takes 20 minutes door to door, and there is a bus stop right in front of my house. So how did you come to this exam? I came by public transport because it's convenient. It takes me 20 minutes door to door. There's a bus stop right in front of my house. That would be okay. So that makes a little bit more sense. At least use these linking words so that I know you're giving me a reason and not just some strange kind of off-topic English. Okay? All right. And then a very common question is, do you have any hobbies? Okay, so give me a nice full sentence answer for this one. Do you have any hobbies? Yes, I have several pastime activities. I really like to play sports with my friends, especially basketball, and I like watching Korean soap operas. Okay. Yesterday, I shot some hoops and had a great time. Okay, so that could be a question. Hobbies, notice how it's plural? Pay very careful attention to plurals in questions, okay? When you hear a plural, when you hear it's not just one, but it's any hobbies, it's a good idea to answer with two. You like biking and you like drawing, or you like to watch movies and you like cooking, okay? So come up with two. Most of us have at least a couple of hobbies, okay? Rhino says, I have a plethora of hobbies. I love to play football with my friends. So this would be an example of an awkward answer, Rhino. Why? So Rhino says, I have a plethora of hobbies. I love to play football with my friends. So this is, I'll give you a inside the examiner's mind. Okay, so inside, I'm the examiner. I'll tell you what's going on inside my mind. Inside the examiner's mind. So try to think like the examiner. Okay, think like the examiner. So if you say, I have plethora of hobbies, I love to play football with my friends, I would give you a band 5. Why? What's going on in my head as the examiner? So try to figure out what is going on. So Reno, try to figure out what's going on inside of my head as the examiner. Why am I giving you only a band 5 here, Reno? So what's inside my head? Okay, what do you guys think? Answer me in the chat. So Navjot says elaboration. Akira says make it clear. Fong says it's not clear. Can anybody be more specific of why it's not clear? And Fong says there's no explanation. Okay, so first of all, so I'll show you these. This is what happens in my mind. Okay. Number 1. This candidate is using templates learned from the internet. It is strange to say plethora. Plethora in this context. Okay? So my first thought as the examiner is, I think this person learned the word plethora from some YouTube video, and that's why they're trying to use it here. It's not natural. So remember those 3 circles that I showed you earlier? Natural? It's not natural. Also, there's a grammatical mistake. Simple grammar mistake. I have a plethora of hobbies. Okay? Now, thirdly, confusing. It's confusing or poor coherence. The candidate says they have many, because plethora means many, right? Hobbies, but they only mention one. football. Why? Okay, so this is the journey inside the examiner's head. And when you're practicing your IELTS, that's the way it should be, is you should be thinking about what's inside the examiner's head. So if you say, I have plethora of hobbies, I love to play football with my friends, in my mind, it's a band 5, the examiner, because I'm thinking, this candidate is using templates learned from the internet. It's not original. It's kind of strange to say plethora of hobbies. Also, there's a simple grammar mistake. It would be a plethora of hobbies. So if they're copying a word from the internet, they should copy it correctly with correct grammar. And most importantly, it's kind of confusing. They say they have many hobbies, but then they only tell me one. They don't give me a reason for it. They don't give me any kind of example for it. So it's like, we didn't really answer this question. Simple question. So that's how the examiner thinks. And it's not being mean. It's just their job. They're assessing the communication, the effectiveness, the accuracy, right? So does that make sense? Right? Okay. Okay, so we're going to get into our specific topic of today's IELTS speaking part 1. And today's IELTS speaking part 1 will be about walking. Now, as soon as the examiner introduces the topic, so sometimes they ask you questions on a few different topics, but often they will focus on one idea that's about you. So when you are introduced the topic, so you're introduced this topic of walking, okay? Immediately your brain should think of words and ideas related to walking, okay? What are some ideas that are related to walking? And I can see that some people are really understanding what I'm saying here, which is great. Okay, so let's talk about walking. What are some ideas related to walking? And your brain should kind of race, and immediately as you get into these questions, Chayani says jogging, but jogging is not. Okay, Fuang says sneakers, sure, the type of shoes. Sandals, yeah, okay. All right. Exercise, yeah, so walking is a good way to exercise. What are some synonyms? You should think about synonyms. Hiking is okay. Hiking is a type of walking in nature. Okay. So, yeah, so Javidan or Havidan says take a stroll. Okay, strolling is good. Yeah. What else? What else comes to mind? So walking, strolling, good. What else comes to mind when you're thinking about walking? Maybe fresh air, nature, park, kilometer, hour, 30 minutes. Commute, work, school. Okay, so maybe you go with friends, right? So all of those ideas should be coming into your head and you should be picturing it. Instead of freaking out and stressing, you should be thinking about sneakers, sandals, exercise, hiking, take a stroll, get fresh air, nature, park, kilometer, 20 minutes, work, school, friends, okay? Harman, we wouldn't say stress buster, okay? That's kind of awkward. We don't really say stress buster in English all that much, all right? Okay, again, that just sounds like a template, unnatural template. So careful with those unnatural templates. Let's practice speaking, everybody. I want to speak with some of our viewers, give you a chance to really use your English. So you can volunteer for speaking. The way to do this is go to aehelp.com. That's our website where we can interact with students and you can interact with each other for free, or you can buy the full version and use it with all of the materials. Go to your My Student account. Okay. Click on Student Partner Speaking. Make sure you have a microphone and your microphone is enabled for the website. You will see me in the chat. My name will be Master. It will be big letters, and there will be a blue envelope that you can click to chat. Okay, let me show you. So here is the website. Okay, so this is aehelp.com. Okay, so go to aehelp.com. A lot of you know this already. This is very useful. It's a lot of fun. We get to learn about different people around the world, and you get to really practice your IELTS and build your confidence. So go to aehelp.com, create an account. You can create an account by either clicking on this big red button. Okay, again, it's a one-time payment. It's lifetime access. It's absolutely worth it. Or you can create a free account by clicking the green button that's just above my head there. And then you go to your My Student account. In your My Student account, you will have computer-based practice exams. You have a full interactive course. You have study plans, PDF books, lesson videos. You have all the audio CDs. And then here you have the student partner speaking. Okay. So you click on that student partner speaking that's just above my head there, and we will practice speaking with each other in just a moment. If you want to book a full mock IELTS speaking interview, get the recording through Zoom, you can do that with this yellow button at a later time. And if you see this red button, that means you can register for IELTS exam from home through our website. It will take you to IDP's test registration, and you can register for home-based IELTS. Okay? All right. Don't use words like stress buster, guys. It doesn't, it releases or relieves stress, or it helps me to feel calm and relaxed. Okay? Alfred says, I have premium and it's very useful. Thanks, Alfred. I'm glad you like it. That's awesome. I hope you're using it every day. Okay, students, so let's go to student partner speaking. Accept the terms, and boom, we're in the speaking interface. I can see that we have Aman, Joao, Masala, Kundan, Vishal, Chayani, Patek, King. Nice to see you in here. Alfred, Sarvar, very good. So we've got lots and lots of students, and I'm going to put on my ears so I can hear you better. There we go. And we have lots of volunteers, which is fantastic. So you will see me as Master, everybody. Okay, Master, send me, it'll be all capital like this, Master. And you want to click on the blue envelope by my hand to communicate with me. Okay, and don't call me, I will call you. Okay. All right. Alfred, you were the first out of the box. Let's see where you are. Okay, Alfred, are you ready? Don't call me, students. I don't know who's trying to call me. Alfred, are you there? Are you ready? Let me get back to you here in a sec. Alfred, I can see that you're ready. So let me just do that. I just had to hang up that user. All right. Okay, Alfred, here we go. Whoops. Sorry, Faith. That was there we go. There's Alfred. All right, Alfred. If you're there, pick up the phone.
Hello.
Hi, Alfred.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
I'm good, thank you.
Awesome.
How about you?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm doing really well, actually. Thank you for asking. Alfred, can you tell everybody where you are calling from today?
I'm calling from Indonesia.
From Indonesia. Which city are you in?
Currently, I live in Tangerang, which is it was part of Jakarta 20 years ago, but now it's have its own province.
Okay, interesting. As Jakarta grew. That's a nice explanation. I would love to visit Indonesia one day. I hear it's quite beautiful.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
All right, and why are you taking the IELTS exam?
I want to. I have planned to um having IELTS preparation test, which is uh next week in on Saturday. So I
Mhm.
need to prepare for it before um I have.
Okay, and why are you taking the IELTS? So are you planning to immigrate, go to school, get a job?
I'm planning for immigrate
Okay,
to Australia.
to Australia. Okay,
Mm.
immigration. All right. Well, Alfred, let me ask you a few questions. I'll give you some feedback based on your answers. Are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. So, welcome to the speaking section of the IELTS exam. My name is Adrian. I will be your examiner. Um, I will ask you some questions to get to know you better and some questions on a general topic. May I see your identification?
Here you are. This is my passport. I use for register to this as exam
What is
a
your
couple
full
weeks
name?
ago. Um, my first name is Alfred, and my uh, surname is Mesak. But please call me just Alfred.
How did you come to this exam?
I came here by foot because it's close to my place, and it took um just 5 minutes walk.
Do you have any hobbies?
Yes, I do have some hobbies, and I like playing guitar, watching movie, listening to music, and recently I like reading a storybook.
Let's talk about walking. How often do you walk?
I walk quite often because when I go to work, I walk. When I go, and when I'm and then when I'm back, I also walk, and then it's really uh, good for my health. Also, it's cost less money for transport.
Okay. Excellent. Awesome. Let me give you some feedback. So first of all, I'll give
Okay.
you a band score just right off the bat. So I would mark you as your examiner a band 5 in the following
Mm.
ways. So your fluency score would be a 5. Your coherence score would be a 6.5, which is good. Okay. Your lexical resource would be a 6.5 also. Your grammatical range and accuracy would be about a 5 to 5.5, and your pronunciation would be an 8. Okay. Altogether, I would give you a 5 to a 5.5. I might give you a 5.5. So just under fluent. When you're fluent, you need to be a little bit smoother, a little bit faster. So band 6 means that you are fluent. That means that you can speak without really stopping or without breaking your words. Let me jump back a little bit, Alfred, and give you a couple of specific tips. So my first question to you was, may I see your passport? Up here. May I see your passport? And you started your answer quite slowly, so maybe you're nervous
Yeah,
and so on.
I
But
was nervous.
yeah, so but that happens in the real exam too. So you can be nervous with me. Of course, we're live on YouTube. It's a tricky situation, but same in the real exam, right? You're live with the examiner. You're at the exam center. So you have to control your nerves because when you get this question, may I see your identification? You have to answer this quickly and smoothly. You were quite slow to answer this question, and I literally had to interrupt you before you could finish because it was just going so slowly. So these first couple questions, like your identification, your name, must be really smooth, really, really quick and smooth. So let's just practice this. May I see your identification? Yes, here you are. This is my passport that I used to register for this exam. Try it. May I see your identification?
Yes, here you are. This is my passport that I used to register to this exam.
This is my passport that I used to register for this exam. So one more time. Yes, here you are. This is my passport that I used to register for this exam.
Yes, here you are. This is my passport that I used to register to this exam.
For this exam. So even like with this question and this answer, you should not make mistakes, even small ones like a missing is or a preposition. You have to get those correct. A band 7 or a band 8, band 7 or higher, even a band 6.5 or higher will not have any mistakes with these questions. Okay. So one more time, Alfred. Yes, here you are. This is my passport that I used to register for this exam.
Yes, here you are. This is my passport that I used to register for this exam.
Okay, so make sure that you're practicing perfection for these first couple of questions, okay?
Okay.
When I asked you what is your full name, you said, my first name is Alfred, and this is for everybody. Natural fillers like and totally okay. All right. A lot of people think, they're so bad and I'm going to lose marks. And my teacher said if I say and then I'm going to lose marks. Alfred, it's not true. You can use natural fillers. They're called natural fillers. We use them. I use them. Everybody uses them. But it's important where you use them and when you use them. When somebody asks me, what's my full name? I never have to say because it's just my name, right? So my name is Adrian, right? You never go, my name. It's like, why are you thinking about your name? Are you really Alfred? So you can't do that.
I was
right?
nervous. I was really nervous.
I get it. But again, in the real exam, if it's the same, it's still a natural filler in that situation. It's awkward, right? You can't use it there. So what's your full name? My first name is Alfred. My surname is, and then smoothly. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Then let's jump to your first specific question. So I asked you, the other two were pretty good. Your answers were pretty good there. I asked you, how often do you go for a walk? And you said, I walk quite often. I love that start. That was a really good start because you used my question and you answered it very directly. You said, I walk quite often. And then it got a little bit strange. You said, because when I go to work, I walk. Okay. And that was okay. But then after that, you said, when I go and then I'm back, I also walk. Confusing and complicated. Okay. So this last part should be something like, because when I go to work, I walk to my office and back home. It takes me about 10 minutes each way. And I do this 5 times a week. Don't forget the original question. How often do you walk, right? And I do this 5 times a week. Okay. It helps me to stay fit. Okay, and that's it. So let's try this one. I'm going to repeat the question, the answer, copy me, and I want everybody who's watching to copy me. Okay. So
Okay.
how often do you walk, or how often do you go for a walk? I walk quite often because when I go to work, I walk to my office and back home. It takes me about 10 minutes each way, and I do this 5 times a week. It helps me to stay fit. How often do you go for a walk?
I walk quite often because when I go to work, I walk to my office and back home. It takes me about 10 minutes each way, and I do this 5 times a week. It helps me to stay fit.
That's your band 9 answer. Okay, so nice and
Oh,
smooth. That's your band 9, right? So clear, accurate. Next question. Alfred, you were
yes,
my first volunteer this week. That is awesome. Thank you so much.
you're welcome.
Okay, and I hope that you do well in your practice exam. Just keep practicing. Make sure you get those first few questions perfect. Okay?
Yeah,
Bye, Alfred.
bye. Thank you so much.
All right, that was Alfred. Very nice. Okay, let's take King here. All right. Are you ready, King? Okay. King, are you ready? Gagan, please stop calling me. King, are you ready? I have to figure out a way to boot people from there. All right. Hello, King. I think you picked up. Are you there?
And I'm sorry, I'm just trying to figure out how these things work.
You figured it out. Good news. I can hear you.
Finally,
There you are. How are you, King?
yeah.
So, King, make sure that you mute YouTube and you're using the website audio, not YouTube
sorry.
audio. Are you good?
And now I'm good. I'm awesome on YouTube.
All right. Yeah. So you want to always mute YouTube because YouTube has like a 6-second delay. So
Uh-huh.
use the website audio and not the YouTube audio. All right, King, you are in the Philippines,
No, I'm here in
Indonesia,
Ireland.
Ireland. Radio.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. We have a speaking session coming up in a little bit, right?
That's right.
Good. And so you thought you'd jump in for a little bit of pre-session
Yeah,
practice?
exactly.
I like it. I like the way
Just,
you think.
just to get the nerves out of my system.
Good for you. That's a great way to do it, by the way. So everybody who's watching, if you're like, well, I don't know what to do, remember that you can use this website before your IELTS exam too, right? So when you're at your IELTS exam, go on the website, try to see if there's somebody here that you can speak to for a little bit and say, I have an IELTS exam, can we talk, right? So you can do it here too. All right, King. And you're doing nursing in Ireland, if I remember correctly.
That's right. Yeah, I've been doing this for like 30 years. That's how long.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you're doing the IELTS because you want to get higher level positions in the nursing field.
That's correct. I want to pursue my career dreams in anesthetics, and that's the only way I can do practice that field of nursing is in America.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
this IELTS is just one of the requirements that I will be able
Yeah.
to reach my goal.
Yeah, anesthetics, by the way, for everybody who's watching, it's the specialization of basically putting people to sleep before surgery or giving people a type of painkiller so that they don't feel the medical procedure. It's called anesthetics.
It's like temporarily we are killing you.
Don't say that. You're gonna scare people. So
Uh,
yeah, it's temporarily without putting people, in a sleep or without
You'll be
feeling, right?
unconsciously, you don't know
Yeah.
anything about what's happening.
Um, yeah, you don't know what's happening, and people love the anesthetic nurse because nobody likes pain, right?
That's it.
So it's a very valuable job, and of course you need really good English because you have to know what that person's saying. Everybody's body is different, so we need different kinds of anesthetics for different people. So English, of course, is very important. You definitely do not want to, somebody says, "Oh, I'm allergic to that anesthetic," and you're like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't understand you. Here's your
But surprisingly, being in anesthetics, you very seldom have an interaction with the patient unless you know. But
You just give them the
you're,
needle, right? You just give them the
uh,
needle. They go to. I mean,
well,
you can't talk to
yep,
them when they're sleeping, right, King?
of course. But you will have only interaction with them once you do your pre-examination with
Yeah.
them. Yeah, assessment.
All right. Well, let me ask you a couple of questions, King. We'll get going here. Are you ready?
I am good.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Here we go. So, how often do you go for a walk?
I usually go for a walk when I'm off from work, but because I like I'm doing a 12-hour shift here, and most of the time, like you're handling 25, 30 patients on your own, like you can hardly sit down. I'm doing anyway by what's this nursing agency stuff, so I do so my days will be consumed doing the
Where
12
do
hour
you
shift
usually walk?
just within my neighborhood. About maybe I'll take about 10, 15 kilometers when I'm off, just to relieve some stress and to keep me fit.
Okay. Let me stop there. And give you a bit of feedback. Okay, first of all, King, we're being a bit chit chatty here, but on the Ielts, don't be chit chatty. Okay, don't be
Uh,
chit chatty. Don't tell me the truth. Don't tell me what you want to tell me. Tell me what you need to tell me, and you'll get a better score. Okay. The problem when candidates tell the examiner what they want to say is they often don't answer the question. They go off topic, and that coherence mark really goes down. Okay, so I said, how often do you go for a walk? And you said, I usually go for a walk when I'm off work. And until that time, it was great. It was a band 8. Okay, and then after that, that
I
band
extended
8.
my
Well, yeah,
I
and that
extended my answer.
well, you need to extend it a bit because you need to give me a bit more detail to really make it a band 8. If you just stop there, I can only give you like a band 6 or a band 6.5. But then you turned your band 8 start into a band 6.5 because you kind of went off topic
Yeah.
and you talked about, what's in your heart and not what I really want to hear. You said, but because I'm doing a 12-hour shift and most of the time you are handling 25 to 30 patients. Right now, King,
That's off topic.
yeah, and right now, King, I'm actually handling 359 viewers instead of 25 to 30 patients. So I'm not handling the 30 patients, you are, right? So first of all, most of the time I am. So don't switch to you. I am handling. So for part 1, remember, King, and this will be a good tip for your upcoming practice session. I, me, my in part 1, always. Okay, no you. You said, so handling 25 to 35 patients on your own, on my own. Okay, on my own. So I have hardly any time to sit down.
Yeah.
Here, if you finish it, so I guess I'm walking all day long.
Mm.
Okay, now it's better. Okay, now I know that it's 12 hours every day, all day long. You're walking around handling patients. So let me repeat this, and you will see that these small changes that I made, I only changed a few words, but it makes it a lot clearer. Okay, so check it out, King. Here we go. How often do you go for a walk? I usually go for a walk when I'm off work. Once
Hang
or
on, I cannot read.
just listen. It's okay. Do it from listening. If you can't read it, if you don't see YouTube at the same time, just do it from listening. So here we go. I usually go for a walk when I'm off work, but because I'm doing 12-hour shifts and most of the time I'm handling 25 to 30 patients on my own, I have hardly any time to sit down. So I guess I'm actually walking all day at the hospital. How often do you go for a walk?
I usually go for a walk when I'm off from work, but because I'm doing 12-hour shift and most of the time I'm handling 25 to 30 patients on my own, so I have hardly time to sit down. So I guess I'm walking all day long at the hospital.
Now I can give you that band-aid, right? So it's about you, it's answering the question, and you're actually telling me how often you walk instead of just what you're doing. Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. I noticed when I went off topic.
Yeah, and that's really dangerous because even if you have a band 8 or band 9 level English, the examiner can only give you like a band 6 if you're going off topic. So you have to stay on topic, finish your answer, wait for the next question. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Any questions, King, about the speaking?
I think I just have to keep reminding myself about what I have to use the pronouns,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so that maybe I can get some higher than what I want to
Absolutely.
achieve.
Pronouns and explanation, example, answer, explain, example, stop. Keep that in mind. And I think you'll do
Mhm.
great because I do think that your real English is closer to a 758. So you have to try to get that mark. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, King, I look forward to our session. I will see you in a little more than an hour and I look forward to it. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Adrian.
Okay. Bye, King.
Bye bye.
All right, that was King. Let's take somebody else. Let's take Fwang. Fwang, we haven't heard from in a long time. Fwang, are you ready? I'm just kind of bouncing around. Fwang's one of our members. All right, we've got time for a few more, so get in there, students. Fwang is ready. Awesome.
Hi, sir.
Hi, Fwang. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic this morning. Thank you for asking. Fwang, have we spoken before?
No, not yet. This is my first time.
I thought so. I thought so. But, it felt like we have because you have been a member for a while now and you interact in the chat, which is awesome. So I'm really glad that you finally decided to make yourself heard. That's great. All right, Fwang. Well, now that I'm speaking with you, may I guess, are you from Thailand?
No, I come from Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh City.
Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh. Okay, I was a bit off. I thought your last name is maybe Thai, but okay. And why are you taking the IELTS, Fwang?
For my university, and I want to study for business administration in Australia.
Okay, clear. I thought you were going to say in Vietnam because I know even in Vietnam many universities need IELTS exams now. So why do you want to study in Australia?
Because I want to widen my knowledge about new cultures, new traditional. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Instead of widen, it's more common to say broaden. I want to broaden my knowledge of culture and tradition.
Yeah.
Widen is okay. I get it, but broaden is a little bit more natural. Okay. So just repeat after me. I want to broaden my knowledge.
I want to broaden my knowledge.
Okay. I want to broaden my horizons about other cultures.
I want to widen my...
Not widen. I want to broaden my horizons
I want to broaden my horizon
about new cultures.
about new cultures.
Yeah, broaden horizon is an expression or an idiom which means to expand your knowledge. Okay. So good. You have some good, strong, fundamental English. That's nice to hear. I'm going to ask you some questions for speaking part 1 about walking. Are you ready?
Ready.
All right. Where do you usually walk?
There's a park near my... sorry, can I start again, sir?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, the best place for me to work is the park, which is a couple blocks around my house. It is so spacious, fresh air, and a lot of people, such as adults, elderly, children, come here to do exercise at least a dozen times a day. As I just mentioned, I go to there in the morning to do some workout.
Do you like to walk at a fast or a slow pace?
Well, I prefer working at a fast pace than slow pace because it's really saving my time and getting to the destinations as soon as possible. Besides that, working in a hurry helps me to burn out and keep fit.
What do you like to wear on your feet when you go for a walk?
Absolutely, my sneaker. I usually wear it whenever I go for work or hiking because these will protect my feet from sharp items and make me more comfortable while doing some workout. Like coming to the exam today, I put on my sneaker and that's making me more confident.
Have your walking habits changed in the past 10 years?
Well, I think my working habits haven't changed much in the past 1 decade. Working as part pay really saves my time and get to the destination as soon as possible.
If you could walk around any place for an hour, where would you go?
If I could work around any place for an hour, it would be Nha Trang Beach, which is located in the center of Vietnam. This is the most beautiful and clean beach in my country. Thousands of tourists come here per week. I want to listen to music and walk along the seaside.
Okay, that is the end of part 1. We will now continue with part 2. For this part, I will ask you some questions, or I'll show you some questions on a card. You will have 1 minute to look at these questions. Okay, I'm going to stop there. You're not going to do part 2, don't worry. You can maybe try that on Saturday. We'll do part 2, but for now, let's take a look at your part 1 answers. So right away, Phuong, I'm going to give you some feedback. So your overall band score would be a 6.5 to 7. I really want to give you a 7.5 or at least a 7, but to do that, we have to work on your pronunciation a bit. First of all, your fluency, your word choice, your grammatical range and accuracy, they're awesome. Okay, you're up in the 7.5 to 8 range for all of those. However, your pronunciation is making it slightly difficult for me to catch exactly what you're saying in some parts. Okay, so what you want to do in your regular study every day, every time you study speaking, is just mimicry. So choose an English accent that you want to have for your English. So do you prefer American? Oh, you know what? If you're going to Australia, you should probably choose the Aussie accent. Have you practiced pronouncing words like Australians?
No, not yet.
Okay, so that's what I suggest you do, and not the heavy Australian accent. Okay, so even in Australia, there are different accents, like "G'day, mate." Okay, don't. Some Australians are probably like, "That was horrible, Adrian," but they kind of sound like that in some parts, where they're like "G'day, mate," and it literally means like "Good day, friend." So not that really heavy accent, but just the kind of smoother, clearer Australian accent. So listen to some Australian podcasts from maybe Sydney or Brisbane on some of your favorite topics. Repeat the speaker, because some words you have to pronounce clearer to get those higher band scores. Like here we're talking about walking. Okay, repeat this word after me, Fuang. Walk.
Work.
No, it sounds more like you're saying work. Walk.
Work.
Really open up your mouth, and when you're practicing pronunciation, Fuang, practice it's called the articulation of sound. It means how the sound is made. I'm going to write this up here for everybody, okay? So articulation of sounds, articulation of vowels and syllables in English. Okay. So let me say this one more time. Watch my mouth in the little screen. So walk.
Work.
Try this aw sound. Aw.
Or sound.
Yeah, aw.
Or.
You're pushing it out from your throat. Aw. Try it, seriously.
Or.
Don't make it go to an R sound. Just keep it as an aw, like that.
Or.
Okay, let's try it one more time. Walk.
Work.
I'll get there. We'll keep practicing, all right? It's getting better. It's getting better. So identify the sounds that are difficult for you. Like this aw sound definitely seems to be challenging. So identify them. And yes, you can learn it, okay? A lot of people think, oh, but I'll never be able to make that sound. It's not true, okay? Everybody can learn pronunciation and to change their pronunciation. So as long as you practice it, you will get it and it will improve. And you don't need to improve lots, just little bits, and then your speaking will become much clearer, okay? So pronunciation practice every single time. You've got lots of vocabulary, you've got lots of good grammar, you need the pronunciation, okay?
Okay.
All right, so lots of repetition, Fuang. Copy those native Australian speakers, okay?
Okay.
It was really good to hear your voice, Fuang, and I hope you come back and practice with me again, okay?
Okay, bye-bye, sir. Have a good day.
You too. Bye, Fuang. All right, let's give some thumbs up to Fuang. How great was she? And I know that, you know, practicing pronunciation is kind of, people are shy to do it. So give her a thumbs up. Let her know that we enjoyed it and we enjoyed her practice. All of us have some challenges with pronunciation, including native speakers. So it's good to, you know, identify those challenging sounds and then practice them, right? Okay. All right. So don't call me, people. I will call you. All right. Let's take somebody else. Let's see if I can see a new person here. Rokuaya. Let's see if I can learn how to pronounce that name. Rokuaya, are you ready? Good to see many of our members in here, by the way. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Domenico. Nice to see our many members in here as well. Rokaya says yes. All right, Rokaya.
Hello, sir.
Hi, Rokaya. First question, sorry, before we even go further. Can you please tell me your name?
Yes, my name is Rukaiya Khatun. I am from India, Delhi.
Okay, so I'm pronouncing it okay then, Rokaya.
Yes.
Okay, I was a little bit worried that I was way off.
Yes,
All
you can
right.
say me Julie. It's my home name.
Sorry, you said Julie?
Yes, Julie.
Okay, that's like your English nickname?
No, it's my pet name.
Oh, okay. So it's your nickname.
Yes.
Okay. All right, Julie. Okay, so why are you taking the IELTS, Julie?
I'm taking IELTS because I want to study abroad like Canada or Australia for my further studies, MEd.
Okay, and what are your further studies? Can you tell me that a little bit?
Yeah, it's MEd, Master of Education.
Ah, okay, got you. Are you planning to be a public school teacher?
Yeah, I want to be.
Okay, what grades would you like to teach?
Yes.
Which grades would you like to teach,
I
Julie?
like to teach B.Ed students, Bachelor of Education.
Grade 8 students, so like 12 years old, 13, 12, 13 years old?
No, I like to high school, just like 8th, 9 students, 8th grade.
8th grade, ninth grade. Okay. All right. So a
Yes,
little bit older, like 14, 15, something like that.
yeah, sure.
Little bit easier to handle, not screaming as much. Yes, I get it.
Yes,
They never get perfect though. You're always going to have students who are screaming. Just giving you a heads up. All right. Okay, Julie. Well, let me help you with this. Let me ask you a few IELTS questions. Are you ready?
okay, yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Where do you usually walk?
I usually walk in my nearby park, which is DDA Park, and its name is Mayur Vihar Park. I go to early in the morning at 8 o'clock and walk about 15 minutes, and then after I do some exercises in that park, which is open gym park.
Do you like to walk at a fast or a slow pace?
Yeah, I like both as well as fast and slow because I do walk every day 2 times. First in the morning and second after dinner. When I walk in the morning, I walk fast, and in the after dinner, I walk slow.
What do you like to wear on your feet when you go for a walk?
Sorry, can you repeat, please?
Yes. What do you like to wear on your feet when you go for a walk?
Yeah, I like to wear on my feet a sports shoe, which is help to walk. It's very comfortable and it don't hurt my legs.
Have your walking habits changed in the past 10 years?
Yeah, I think so because in uh, before 1 decades, it little will change because in these days there are so many people which is aware about health, and in these days all are suffering from obesity and health issues. So that's why it's changed, and everyone should aware about walking.
If you could walk around any place for an hour, where would you go and why?
If I get chance to walk for an hour, I want to go beach side because I love beaches, and there is very beautiful environment, and I walk the beaches uh, along for 1 hour.
What's another way to say 1 hour?
Sorry.
What is another way to say 1 hour?
1 hour.
Different way to say 1 hour.
It's uh
How many minutes?
60 minutes. 60
Okay,
minutes.
good. Yeah, just a quick paraphrasing lesson there. 60 minutes, right?
Yes. Yes.
It's just a quick, easy way to show that you can paraphrase that, okay? All right,
Yeah.
good. Okay, great fluency. Clear answers. Good job using the question. So I said, if you could walk around, and you said, if I could walk around, I would. That was very good that you used the question. So it shows your grammar. Nicely done. You've got grammatical mistakes throughout, and
Yes.
you have repetition. So like you said, the
Yes.
word beach 4 or 5 times. Make your answers concise, okay? So what you want to work on is just cleaning up your grammar a little bit and making your sentences concise, so not repeating the same idea again and again. A good way to do that is just to record your answers. When you're practicing, record your answers and then say them again. So think, okay, well, how can I say this in a clearer, shorter way, right?
Okay.
So let me take a look here. Yeah, so here I said, where do you usually walk? And you said, I usually walk in a nearby park.
Yeah.
The park's name is Nayurvina Park. It's a park. And you said park about 5 times in the first 2 sentences,
Yeah.
okay?
Yes.
So just simply say, I usually walk at Nayurva, I don't know the name, it doesn't matter, Nayurva Park near my home once or twice each day. And then I know it's a park. I know it's near your home. So just use the name of the park right away. So repeat after me. I usually walk at Nayurva Park near my home once or twice a day.
I usually walk in my nearby park. It's Mayur Vihar Park.
No. See, you're repeating. You're repeating the park in the park. Just say the name of the park right away. So I usually walk at Nayurva Park near my home once or twice a day.
I usually walk Mayur Vihar Park nearby my home once in a day.
Perfect. See how that's much more concise. So you're not being redundant with the word park, right?
Yes.
And then you can say for 15 minutes. So to get those higher band scores, it's really important to have clear grammar and not speak unnecessarily. You have to explain, you have to give examples, but not repeat the same information, okay?
Okay.
All right, so that's what you want to practice. And sometimes it's worth slowing down a little bit. So slow down 10%, speak 10% slower, but without repetition, and you will get a higher mark, okay?
Okay.
All right. Have an awesome rest of your day in India, and make sure to come back tomorrow for our writing and reading lessons, okay?
Yes. And what is my approximate band?
Thank you for asking. It slipped my mind. So I would grade your speaking at about a band 6, okay? 5.5 to 6. I'd give you a 6, I think, okay?
Oh, okay.
All right. Keep up the good studies. You're welcome. Bye for now.
Thank you. Have a good time. Thank you.
All right. Let's give Rokaiya a thumbs up. Julie, I believe, if I remember your nickname correctly, give her a thumbs up. She did a great job there. Students, this is the speaking interface that we are using on our website. It's free for everybody to use with each other. If you like this kind of speaking with me, you can book a full IELTS speaking interview practice session with me using this yellow button that's just above my head there. There it is. You see it there. And of course, if you want to get all of our materials, practice exams, an app for your phone, by the way, this QR code that's here, you can point your phone at that and you can get our app. And if you want all of our materials or apps, then go to our website, which is aehelp.com, and click this big red button right there. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access. We're IDP British Council partners. We're world leaders when it comes to preparing students for their IELTS exams and helping you improve English communication. Thank you so very much, everybody, members. It's awesome to have you all here with me today. I wish I could have spoken to all of you a little bit, but we'll be back next time, and I will choose different people at different times. So we definitely come back, volunteer again, and if I haven't spoken to you yet, I will do my best to find and select new candidates, new individuals each time. General IELTS, it's this website here. Click that big button there. Again, remember, students, if you have questions, you can send us an email. My email address or email addresses where you can get a hold of us are here. Okay, Adrian at aehelp.com, admin at aehelp.com. Our websites, again, aehelp.com for academic IELTS, gieltshelp.com for general IELTS. It was really awesome to have all of you here with me today. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow in our reading writing classes. Make sure to be here, and I wish all of you an awesome rest of your day wherever you are in the world right now. Much love to all of you. I'm Adrian. I'm signing out from beautiful Victoria here in Canada. Bye for now, everyone.